Welcome to Triad News 360 for February 27, 2018. I'm Emma DeMeo.
And I'm Connor Robinson. Coming up, an inside look at the struggles facing those with test anxiety.
And with the warmer weather this past weekend, some woolly creatures are stripping down and running free.
Baseball season has officially begun, but some players are a bit distracted these days. The HPU baseball team seems a little preoccupied on the newest popular video game, Fortnite. Triad News 360 reporter Ashley Brooke Daniels has the story.
The video game that is dominating the nation, Fortnite, has also been dominating these athletes' priorities. The HPU baseball team has some players who seem more worried about winning the gold star and placing first in the digital world than they do in their own sport. Developed by Epic Games as a co-op sandbox survival video game released in July 2017 as a completely free-to-play game, has began dominating students and people everywhere. We asked them why this game has caught so much of their interest.
Fortnite is life. Fortnite is a lifestyle. Fortnite
is the reason I'm alive.
Kudos, Fusco.
It's like an animated video game, so like it's different than like Call of Duty, which makes it pretty fun. I play Fortnite every night, anywhere from like 2 hours to 5 hours.
Favorite gun? Golden Scar.
Purple Scar. We have a deal.
We have an agreement
That whenever the Purple Scar is on the map, I get it, and Gold Scar, he gets it. We always play together. We play with his Latin American friends, Andres and Ethan.
Come on, Fortnite, you can do it!
Come on, baby. I will hide in this room and wait for...
I play Fortnite because it's a fun game. You know, all my friends play it, and it just strengthens our friendships from distances.
The game even has some of them falling out of chairs.
Stupid ass game.
Stupid.
Fortnite. As you can see, it's very addicting. I love Fortnite. He loves Fortnite. He loves Fortnite. Actually,
I love Fortnite.
we all love Fortnite.
Falling out of chairs, wow. Those baseball players are really devoted to Fortnite. I'm sure when the ump yells, play ball, the Panther baseballers will be ready to go.
It is no surprise that many kids play video games, but what might surprise you is what's in those games. A number of video games are entering a massive controversy that is catching the attention of government leaders. Triad News 360 reporter Nate Greenstein has more.
16-year-old Braxton Miller loves to play sports games, and so do millions of other children. One popular sports game, Madden 18, made by EA, sold way past its $938,000 goal.
I've seen actual games, like I've seen basketball and watched it, and I want to see like if I can make my own person and get them as high as I want to get them. And I feel like it's really immersive experience when you play sports games.
Video games are more than a kid staring at a screen. Countless hours of corporate and business meetings go into it. In these meetings, they come up with something called microtransactions. In sports games, this entails spending more money on the game to get a certain player for your team. The catch is the player is randomly given, so it takes multiple purchases to get the right player unless you're lucky.
Rocket League, I've probably spent like over $300 in crates. Fortnite, it was $10 for the Battle Pass. The Season's Pass for COD, which is $50, I think.
Activision, another gaming company like EA, released its end-of-the-year earnings for 2017. The company made $7.1 billion. $4 billion of that was from microtransactions. This works well in both netting a large amount of money, and not all of the purchases are bad.
In Rocket League, it's all aesthetics. Anything you buy, like any crate you roll, it's just to make your car look cooler. It's not making it any better, in a sense.
Countries and states all over are starting to see if this practice is considered gambling. Consumers are standing up for themselves. EA's recent Star Wars Battlefront 2 suffered a huge loss because of unfair microtransactions. The game was a flop. Reporting for Triad News, I'm Nate Greenstein.
Thanks, Nate. The video game industry is always looking for new ways to keep people playing and buying. The average 9-year-old spends about 13 hours a week playing video games, so they make for very reliable consumers.
Ever wondered just how hard it is to give a sheep a haircut? The annual sheep shearing process usually takes place at the beginning of the spring to get rid of the sheep's heavy wool before the warm weather creeps in.
This past weekend was shearing day at a local farm, and Triad News 360 reporter Maximilian Thomas was there to get an inside look.
Bags upon bags of what looks like cotton candy, though I doubt anyone would want to eat this fluff. Even though it's still winter, there are some that are losing their coats a little early this year. It's the 24th annual shearing day at Rising Meadow Farm. This is an event where families can enjoy the scenery, have some good food, and of course observe sheep shearing.
Well, it's fun. It's fun. It's probably the most intimate relationship that you can have with a livestock animal.
Kevin Ford has been shearing sheep for 40 years, but one has to ask, what does it take to do this for a living?
You have to be trained. You have to be trained. You have to. I went to Ireland to begin with and got some lessons from cousins there, and then I spent two months in New Zealand. A week of it being at a course taught by the New Zealand Wool Board, and then yeah, there's a long training period actually.
The sheep, along with other livestock, are shaved every year for their fleece. It is gathered, washed, and processed to make yarn and other products. But some just come to the farm for a change of pace.
It's relaxing here.
Relaxing.
Yeah, we saw that they were having the sheep shearing today, and I thought it'd be fun to bring our kids to experience the farm and the shearing event that they have, and kind of be out in the countryside for the day.
Indeed, it was a relaxing day for the families, but perhaps a little hair-raising for the animals. This is Triad News 360, Maximilian Thomas, reporting.
As warmer weather appears to be heading our way soon, I'm sure those sheep will appreciate the comfort that comes with a good shearing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of money to be made with those bags of wool. Coming up next on Triad News 360, just how much is test anxiety affecting school students?
And Triad News 360 reporter Annie Knabb is live with some new traffic numbers you won't want to miss. We'll be right back.
And bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Littering is a problem that is slowly destroying our Earth, one piece of trash at a time. $11.5 billion is spent each year cleaning up litter among the United States. Cigarette butts account for 50% of all litter in America. Be responsible with your trash. Wait till you're near a park or gas station to safely throw away your trash in a trash can. We only get one planet. Stop the littering.
Welcome back to Triad News 360. I'm Emma DeMeo.
And I'm Connor Robinson.
Have you ever felt a little drowsy behind the wheel? According to AAA, accidents caused by drowsy drivers is 8 times higher than they initially thought.
Triad News 360 reporter Annie Knabb is live out on the streets to tell us more about this dangerous issue. Annie?
Good evening, Triad News 360. This is Annie Knabb reporting live to you from downtown High Point area. Approximately every day, 222 million Americans are driving. But an unfortunate 1.3 million of those drivers get into a fatal car crash. According to AAA, 1 in every 5 car crashes is due to drowsy driving. This makes it equivalent to driving under the influence of alcohol. AAA also came out with a list of top picks on how to stay out of driving while drowsy, which includes driving with a passenger and switching off every 100 miles, stopping at a rest area for a 20 to 30 minute catnap if necessary, and, of course, driving only during the light hours of the day. Next time you get behind the wheel, make sure that you stay safe and keep everyone else on the road safe by driving while not drowsy. Now, back to the studio.
It is very common to think that only drunk or impaired drivers are the most dangerous on the road.
But drivers should also be aware that getting behind the wheel after staying up all night can be just as risky. Students report being stressed by tests and schoolwork more than by anything else in their lives. About 16 to 20% of high school students have high test anxiety, making it the most prevalent scholastic impairment in our school system today. High test anxiety reduces working memory, confuses reasoning, and lowers overall test scores. Triad News 360 reporter Alexandra Miller has more.
I struggle to eat on a daily basis because of the stress.
So that's the biggest thing, just like not feeling prepared.
People always say, don't be such a worrywart. But with major tests coming up, students can't help but worry. When high schoolers are pressured by teachers, parents, and college admissions to receive great GPA and SAT scores, this strain can have lasting effects. Faith Hanshaw, a high school junior from Spring, Texas, discussed how test anxiety can harm students mentally and emotionally.
It's usually for my AP classes when I'm not 100% sure like what's going to be covered on the test, and I'm not 100% sure of what I know everything. So I stress the night before and I stay up super late trying to study and cram, and then I get to the test and I forget one thing and it just bothers me and stuff.
We then sat down with Zach Miller, a high school junior who is also from Spring, Texas. He discussed with us some of the physical side effects caused by test anxiety.
Literally throwing up because I'm very stressed. It's very physical for me, less mental.
According to the American Test Anxiety Association, test anxiety affects around 40% of high schoolers across the U.S., and this number is still rising. It's sad to think that some high schoolers are breaking out in a cold sweat over tests. This is Alexandra Miller with Triad News.
Students with high test anxiety perform around 12 percentile points below their low anxiety peers, and only a small fraction of students suffering from test anxiety will receive the academic accommodations they require. Coming up next on Triad News 360, further updates on High Point sports.
And we are live at the beginning of the basketball tournament drive. We'll be right back.
How am I going to pay for this? Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to Triad News 360. I'm Connor Robinson.
And I'm Emma DeMeo.
Tonight at 7, the HPU men's basketball team takes on the Longwood Lancers in a Big South tournament game.
We're now joined live by Triad News 360 reporter Angelo Petrucci, who is currently courtside as the HPU men prepare to take on the Longwood Lancers. Angelo?
We're coming to you live from the Millis Athletic Center here on a big night for High Point University basketball. You can see in the background the men have cleared the court for their pregame warm-ups ahead of their 7 p.m. tip-off against Longwood in the first round of the Big South tournament. But that game was not originally scheduled to tip at 7. Originally, the women's senior night game was scheduled to tip at 7, but was pushed to 4 o'clock due to this game's scheduling. Ahead of the senior night game, the 4 seniors were honored, including Kat Harris, who dropped her 1,000th point as a Panther with the last basket of the game. Unfortunately, the Panthers fell 63-48 to Radford. They'll play their final game of the season away at Liberty on Saturday. We'll see if the men can pull out a win tonight and move into the quarterfinals of the Big South Tournament. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Angelo, and best of luck to the HPU men tonight.
Now joining us in studio for all the latest Panther sports is Jordan Hefner. Jordan?
Thanks, Connor and Emma. As you just saw, the HPU men's basketball team opens the Big South Tournament at home tonight against Longwood. The Panthers are the number 7 seed after dropping their final regular season game at Liberty. The Panthers will be facing off against the number 10 seed Lancers at 7 p.m. in the Miller Center. The winner of this match will move on to the quarterfinals against number 2 seed Radford in Asheville on Thursday. It's senior night as the HPU women's basketball hosts Radford this evening in their last home game of the regular season. The Panthers are coming off a 54-47 loss to Gardner-Webb on Saturday, which dropped their record to 10-6 in the Big South. Seniors Kat Harris, Ambria Davis, and Hunter Fleming will be honored tonight. The High Point University men's lacrosse team dropped its game at St. John Saturday 16-11. Freshman Asher Honolting netted 3 goals and 1 assist. He is the first Panther since 2016 to score at least 3 points in 5 straight games. The Panthers are still looking for their first win of the season as they play at Robert Morris this Saturday. The High Point University baseball team completed a 3-game sweep of the Dayton Flyers by winning both games of a doubleheader Saturday. Connor Dunbar led the team with 6 hits for the series. The sweep brings the Panthers' record to 4-3 on the season. HP is on the road tonight against 20th-ranked North Carolina. The HPU men's track and field team finished 4th at the Big South Indoor Championship Saturday at Liberty University. Sophomore Pablo Romero successfully defended his heptathlon title while setting a new school record. Freshman Hossein Boutrak took home Big South Freshman of the Year honors, while senior Alejandro Juan Torres was selected to the all-academic team. The High Point women's track team placed 3rd in the Big South Indoor Championship. Cretan Case was named a Big South Scholar Athlete of the Year and was also selected to the All-American team. Famke Hinst was also recognized as HPU Student Athlete of the Week after winning 2 events. The High Point men's golf team began spring play this week at the Wexford Plantation Intercollegiate in Hilton Head, South Carolina. High Point sophomores Brennick McDougall and RJ Bartolomucci both carded 68 in the second round, propelling HPU to the 7th in the 18-team field. Final round to take place today. That's all for Panther Sports. Connor, Emma.
Thanks, Jordan. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Connor Robinson.
And I'm Emma DeMeo. And from all of us here at Triad News 360, have a good night, High Point.